Hello and welcome to V8's Online's live and exclusive coverage of the iRace and V8 Supercar Series, proudly brought to you by V8's Online Superstore, Direct Clutch Services and V8 Supercar Fan Group. For tonight, I'm your host, Stephen Sandman Clark, and joining me alongside, it's normally myself and Jake Kennedy, but Jake's got a bit of a heart muscle, he's having the night off. And sliding in beside me is Clayton Brooks. Brooksy, how you going, mate?
Good, thanks, Sandman. Thanks for having me along. Sorry for Jay for feeling a little bit under the weather tonight, but hope I can fill his shoes.
Sure you do fine, mate. Off your debut of the Truck Series on Wednesday night. Good call, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm glad we had you in-car commentating as well. But yeah, it was an exciting race for the trucks, and the last sort of 10 laps anyway, and hope the series can build some momentum.
Speaking of exciting racing, mate, an all-new season, Season 3 for 2013, and we head to, well, I guess it's the renamed Canadian Tire Motorsport Park now. So 28 laps for round one of the championship, and it's incredibly close in qualifying.
Yeah, mate, it's always close at this track. It's quite a good little track. It's one of my personal favourites in iRacing. Really enjoy this track. It's a bit of undulation in it, a little bit bumpy, and for some reason it just always provides good close racing.
Now we've got a special guest, as we always do, and this time we've dragged Justin Ruggier from the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Falcon. He's going to miss a lap around Mosport. G'day, Justin, you there, mate?
Yeah, g'day guys, how are you?
Good, mate. Are you excited for a brand new series?
Yeah, I am actually. Unfortunately, all week I haven't done any testing, so Brooksy come to the rescue, mate, with a steering wheel. My steering wheel's buggered, so started practicing at 5:30, and now I'm giving you guys a hot lap, so it's going to be interesting.
Oh, well, you don't want to see any mistakes then from you, mate.
No.
So, Justin, your first impressions of the car since the new build, mate, does it feel better than last season, worse than last season? What are your thoughts on it?
From the little amount of laps that I've done, it doesn't feel too bad. But yeah, I mean, obviously I need to do at least another week and a half's worth of practicing, and tonight's race would be a good practice too, mate, to see what the car's like over the duration of a race.
No worries, mate. Well, looks like you're ready for your hot lap. Show us what you got.
Hang on in. Right, start now. I take this in third gear, so start finish straight. Get up into fifth gear. Give it a nice big boot full of hill toe there, and carry fourth gear around here and start squeezing the throttle nice and gently out. Just roll over this undulation there and let the car flow as nice as possible. Again, just squeeze that throttle quick as you can, but smooth. I've gone a bit too deep there. But I usually carry third gear out of there. Get into fifth, pick this corner nice and early. Just ride the bumps before picking the throttle up. Down in the second. This is really painful here. Got to wait so long before we can get onto the throttle. But so far it's not too bad, but I missed that corner early on and went a bit wide, which is going to affect the lap time here. But now some people run different gear ratios, just all depends on driver preference really, but I'm maxed out in top gear here. Down to fourth gear, the car flow. Down one to third, try and ride that curve as much as possible. Get on the throttle, back down to second. Back in a third, and again just try and get onto that curve, and that is a slow up of monster.
Still, mate, 19 flat. It's not too bad of a lap time at all for someone that's only just started practicing only 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I managed to do an 18.4 in qualifying, but I think I've got a bit in it. I'd like to try and go for pole if we can, but I've been a bit optimistic. You know, these guys have been practicing all week, so I'm behind the 8 ball, but hey, I'll give it a crack. We'll see how we go, and obviously traffic's going to play a part in the next qualifying session, so see how we go.
Well, you're currently sitting second in qualifying, just behind Madison on an 18.3, so it's only 1/10 there. you think you're able to squeeze that little bit more out of it?
Yeah, before I got into this session, first couple of sectors, me Optim's actually a 2, so we'll see. It'd be nice to pip him and have a change up the front. Seeing Madison and Josh dominating more last season, we really need to change that and get our cars up there. So we'll see how much pressure we can put on the guys. But again, like I said, we're behind the 8 ball because of limited testing. But hey, at the end of the day, you know, once the flag drops, mate, that's all forgotten about, and got to press on, try and win it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you haven't done any race laps, long race runs yet. Have you been getting any feedback from any other drivers yet on tyre life, that sort of thing throughout the race?
Unfortunately, I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him. It was about sharing a setup and then, yeah, give it a try, and that's all I've been doing. I haven't even done a full tank run yet, so yeah, it will be very, very interesting. But if we can stay up the front, try and get some points with the limited testing we've done, I think that's the best outcome for our team, really, for this week.
Now, looks like I might be back. Sorry about just had a couple of technical issues there, mate. Now, qualifying's not all that far away, buddy, so I suppose we should let you go have a crack at it.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and thanks again for joining us for the new season. We all appreciate all the work you guys do behind the scenes. So looking forward to a new season, and hopefully we can, attack on the domination from Madison and Josh Muggleton from the last season and give it a crack.
We appreciate you stopping by, letting us go for a lap on the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon. All the best for this season, mate. One of the hardest drivers out there, and no doubt you have a red hot go.
Yeah, cheers, man. We'll see if we can grab pole tonight.
Good luck, mate.
All the best,
Thanks,
Tiger.
guys.
Well, there we go. Hopefully we've sorted out our technical issues for the night. We apologise, Brooksy, just throwing you right there in the deep end.
Nah, that's okay, mate. I did the exact same thing to Des on Wednesday night. What goes around comes around.
Just our pre-season jitters here at V8's Online, and busy schedule for us. We talk V8s on Monday nights, trucks on Wednesday nights, and Grand Dams on Thursdays. But we'll touch a little bit more on that as we almost in time for qualifying. And what a qualified session it'll be. Madison down currently on pole ahead of Justin Ruggier and Josh Muggleton. Literally nothing in it between the times, and I guess that's part and parcel of what we tend to see each and every week for qualifying.
Yeah, it's no big surprise having the those three up the top again. Proved way dominant than most last season, and I'm expecting a real good battle between the three. Madison sort of streaked out a little bit towards the end of the last championship, but I think Muggo and Justin will have a bit more to say this one.
One thing I'm keen to look at too is obviously we've gone through a couple of changes iRacing with the V8 Supercar, and it's a little bit different from seasons gone by. And I guess we'll have to sort of wait and see who gets on top of that. But I think it'll be interesting to see sort of who can get on top of that car setup and make it fast. But going by qualifying times, there's not much in it.
Yeah, people out there may not notice. There has been a new build over this week that we've had for the cars. Sort of like bringing updates to the car throughout the year, and it's certainly changed the way it's driven. Getting a lot of feedback from drivers out there, and it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, who can get on top of the sort of new setups with it early, and what sort of driving style suits what drivers this season.
Yeah, that's it. And one of the noticeables too, I think I found for myself, is that we can actually probably mash the throttle a little bit harder on exit, depending on obviously on how the car set up. And that's probably something that a lot of the drivers have actually enjoyed in this build.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that. I can't currently drive. I've got a few technical issues with my car, but a lot of the drivers are really enjoying the way they can just step on that loud pedal on the corner exit and really sort of squats down now and goes. I know a lot of the drivers are really, really excited about driving this car again, really.
So the boys are at it for the final qualifying session. We've got Josh Muggleton on screen. He's currently in third position, his fastest time for the week, 1:18.553, and a current pole sitter, like I touched on before, Madison down with an 18.386. So that's the kind of times that these guys are aiming for if they want to jump up the grid.
Yeah, it's certainly a quick lap around Mosport. It doesn't take that long for the lap to get over and done with, but as Justin mentioned, you've got to have a real nice flow, and getting off that hairpin is very important for the back straight.
So
we've got Sean Kelly on screen as he comes past pit entry. Been reasonably quick in the last couple of days. I've seen him on track and had the pleasure of racing with him, and his time's been quite good. His first flying time at the moment didn't count. No.
He may have had an off track there, or could have been an outlap. Just that's one thing I have noticed. You don't have to look after the tyres as much on the outlap. You can really sort of get stuck into it a bit and get some heat into them. Past seasons, you may have noticed cars going a little very slow, really, on the outlap. The guys can really get a bit stuck into it on outlaps now. It just makes our job a little bit harder. Obviously, trying to pick who's on the outlap and who's on their fast lap.
That's right. Kelly's not doing too bad. His fastest time for the week has been P4 with a 1:18.619, so he's going to abort this lap. But so we're only 5 minutes into the session, so 20-minute qualifying session as always. And the man on screen, Tony Orchard, with a striking new livery, which is one of the exciting things we get to see with a new season.
Yeah, the TTR guys are coming out with a bit of a new livery there. I seen you running around it yesterday, Sam, man. That suits you pretty well. Looks good.
Yeah, they've gone for two different options. As you can see on Orchard's car, it's got the red bonnet. That's sort of Hyper Simulator Racing Team 1, and then my team has got the black bonnet, Hyper Simulator Team 2. So they've been split up into different divisions, and the cars look quite good.
Yeah, there's a few new liveries out there. We've got Matt Nefficoat and Paul Rogers in the Fincar liveries for the OSR. They don't look too bad, and it's a good sponsorship deal those guys picked up during week 13 as well.
So the man on screen, Matthew Nethercote now.
He's showed quite a bit of speed this week so far, Matt. He's really sort of applied himself, and I'm pretty sure Justin's running a version of Matt's setup, so it's definitely some speed in it. Those two guys well in the top 10 in qualifying times.
Yeah, new look for Nethercote, and like I said, he's put himself P9 so far for the week with an 18.8. Here in Simon Black's actually knocked a bit of time off his. He's picked up maybe 3 or 4 tenths, which is pretty good. So one thing I do like coming into a new season is seeing the teams, messing with liveries and picking up different sponsorship deals, and it's always doesn't. Oh, we're just hearing that Latham's into the wall. A bit of damage there.
Yeah, he's pushing a little bit too hard there, trying to squeeze the absolute most out of it. We'll reset, go out and give it another crack.
He's just touched the left rear off the grass, that fired into the fence. Just trying to find a number of drivers that are having a good red hot go. Corey Osborne on screen for the moment. So we'll just apologise. We're just waiting for a couple of us, the trading paint jobs to be refreshed. It's actually, I think we've got him on there as a different livery at the moment, but we've got him on as a car as RS on my one. So we'll just wait for that to update. So we apologise for that.
We've got one of my teammates, Scott Fontaine, out on the track. He's making a comeback to the series. I know he's had a lot on work commitments, and he's going to plan to give this season a good go. He's out on track at the moment on his outlap.
It's a good shot in the arm to have Scott, because he's not a bad peddler, and it's always handy when you got some sort of someone who's been away from it for a little while, and some fresh eyes and a fresh field, different car setup. So I think that'll be a big boost for the team.
Yeah, definitely. He's a very nice bloke for Bert to have a chat to, and he's pretty technical minded when it comes to the setup as well. So yeah, it is a plus. Obviously, more drivers looking at it, it's more little things you can squeeze out of the setup.
Take this opportunity to ride on board with Scott here as he throws it around the first sector here at Mosport Park.
Sounds like the car's working pretty good for him at the moment. He's certainly been a pretty clean lap so far for him.
Yeah, I was just listening to the engine out of that last turn. He's really on the pedal nice and early and getting good grip out of the turns, and it doesn't look like he's been away for too long at all. Always a tricky section, this last part of the circuit, coming past pit entry to finish off the lap. A lot of guys probably third gear off that turn, but it does benefit you sometimes to shift down to second to try and get that run off the turn if you're having a good battle with someone.
There was actually a PB for Scott down in there, a 19.5.
There we go. Justin Ruggier has just punched out a pole lap with an 18.343. So great,
wow.
The original pole off Madison Down.
That's not bad, eh? Start practicing at 5:30 and do that. You might have to do that every week, Sam, man. Just throw in an hour's practice and go for it.
Mate, he'll be absolutely over the moon. Yeah, we touched on the couple of dramas that he's had, and to have limited practice and go out and punch a number like that, it'll certainly have Madison Down scratching his head, and no doubt he'll be trying his hardest to try and snatch pole off back off Ruggier. But sensational lap, unfortunately, just caught the end of it.
Got Lee Day out on track as another one from the ANZ. He really proved a bit of a bolter last season, got within the top 10 of the overall championship, and I'd say he'll be looking this season to progress up that ladder a little bit, try and get in that top 5.
He's certainly he's doing everything right so far, sitting currently in 8th position in qualifying with an 18.807. So, well, speaking of that, he's punched out an 18.6 in this session, so he's actually gone a bit quicker. So that will probably put him into P5 at this stage.
Just having a look, there's not too many out on hot laps. They're all on the out laps at the moment by the looks of it.
It's something we tend to see, isn't it, where the guys will cycle through, they'll punch out 1 or 2 laps, head back to the pits, put on new tyres and have another red hot go. We're just gone 12 and a half minutes of this 20-minute session for final qualifying as we go and check out Madison Down. No doubt he won't be too impressed that Justin Ruggier's taken pole off him, so let's see what he can do. Actually might be a good chance to actually ride on board with 7-time champion Madison Down, see what he can do about snatching pole position back off Ruggier.
Oh, he's just snaked his way through a bit of track there. I don't know if it would have cost him time, but just sometimes that presence of car around you can balk you a little bit and just throw you off that little bit and cost you maybe a tenth.
And we'll see what sort of time he punches out. Comes off the last turn sideways. That'll cost him a bit of time and he'll put across the line, and that'll be an 18.7. So yeah, unfortunately, who knows exactly what you said though, Brooksy. Sometimes just the guys don't even have to get in your way, but it can just be a bit of a distraction and throw you off your line a little bit. But Madison's got some work to do if he wants that pole position back.
I've got Justin Ruggier. He's put it on pole and looks like he's pulling, giving Scott Fountain, teammate, a bit of a tow around the circuit at the moment. Not sure whether the draft really helps with this circuit, but any little bit counts, I suppose.
Yeah, well, definitely out of the last section where the guys are coming up to, that long back straightaway, I guess if you call it a back straight, when there's a couple of kinks in it. But it really can benefit you if you can sort of sniff some sort of draft. So if these guys are working together, it probably can benefit him a little bit. Oh, Scott's just run a little bit wide there.
I was Justin too. I wouldn't just sit on my laurels and let that rest. There's not much in it still between him and Madison. There's still time for Madison to pump that time out. So Justin still has to try and improve, I'd imagine.
Yeah, nothing in it. You're not wrong. An 18.343 for Ruggier and an 18.386 for Down. So you can't stop a stopwatch that regard.
Justin falls out of it, but Scott Fountain's done a 19.7, so he didn't improve that lap.
So we'll have a look at Down again just to see what he's got. Looks like he's warming up to start another hot lap. She might take the chance to have a look at Josh Muggleton as he comes around turn 1.
Yeah, we can't forget about Muggo. He's not far away either. He's I think an 18.5 is his qualifying time at the moment for the week. So you know, it's just one little bit of the track he gets a little bit better, and he's right on there too.
Muggo had a lot of people talking at the end of last season too, because he really came on strong. It was him and Down that had a lot of 1-2s towards the end of the season, and I think Muggo's pace towards the end of the season was sensational, and I think he would have loved to have gone a couple of rounds more just to see what would have happened. But really on his game at the moment, and got that Tats.com Falcon really hooked up.
Yeah, the end of last season, those two Tats cars, they were indestructible really. They just dominated the series. No one really had an answer for them.
It's like you touched on Muggo's time for the week, an 18.553. So currently in P3 for the moment. Hasn't been too much of a bad lap actually, so I'll be interested to see what sort of number he punches out as he crosses the start-finish line. He's gone 19.3, so not quite, still a little bit off, but he's continuing on with some laps, so maybe is he doing some race laps, not sure. So slowly running out of time here, we're up to the 17.5 minute mark, 20-minute session, so the guys really need to sort themselves out whether they're sort of, get on with this lap that they're on and quickly put on a new set of tyres and go for another run, or head back now and slowly make their way around, because time is slowly ticking away.
Yeah, they haven't got much more time left. Pump out that one final lap. A whole week's worth of practice comes down to this last minute 20 seconds for them.
Tell you what, I think Ruggier may have done enough. I know it's incredibly close between Ruggier and Down for their times, but to put that pressure on Madison Down with only 2 minutes or under 2 minutes to go in this session, I mean, Madison really has to. He's pretty much only going to have 1, maybe 2 laps at the most if it all goes right for him, and it's a lot of pressure to go and snatch pole and put it all together in under 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Justin's had a real good first sector. He's gone onto the back straight now. He's still into it, so yeah, he may be pushing on, improve that time a little bit more.
I reckon it's already done the confidence a world of good punching out that time. If you can go a bit quicker, it'll really put him on a high for the start of this race.
got a good exit there. He took a bit of curve, got a good exit. 18.9.
Oh, he's gone quicker at 18.291, so he really stamps his mark on pole position, and that's going to put pressure right on down.
This is where Madison really has to step up if he wants. This is the pressure that's going to be applied. He'll know. He would have just seen that time that Justin pumped out, and yeah, he knows he sort of has to go 500ths of a second better to beat that.
We're going to keep an eye on Madison down for the rest of this lap. This is his last ditch effort. There's only 20 seconds left in this session, so he won't get round to have another lap. So it's either this or starts from P2. So the pressure's on for Madison down the Tats.com Falcon as he hooks it up around Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. But wow, oh wow. I mean, wouldn't Ruggier be feeling really good coming into this? Oh, Madison just run a little bit wide. He's still held onto it though.
Curb too.
So that's it. The official session is over. So the guys that are out there finishing a lap now, that's all they've got. So let's see if Madison Down has done enough, but I think it's a big ask. And we're hearing he's already 3/10 down in the first sector, so that's a lot of time to, it looks like he's just going to probably just put it away now, because that's a lot of time to make up, unfortunately. Oh, a little bit sideways, and that will finish the lap for sure.
I think we've got Josh Muggleton was the last bloke to cross the line before the checkered flew, and he's just entered the back straight.
Yeah, it looks like he's a good couple of tenths down in his first sector as well, but he's been doing longer runs in this session, so maybe he's reasonably happy with his car, but mate, stellar lap by Justin Ruggier, punching out pole position time of 1:18.291. That's pretty impressive stuff from the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcon.
Yeah, it's the way you'd want to start the season, put on pole for the first race. Saying that, starting from second position for Madison won't be all too bad for him, I don't think. If you can hold it on the outside after turn 1, you've got the inside through that very hard turn 2, off camber turn 2. So that's what he'll definitely be looking at achieving on the start.
We're just going to wait for all the all qualifying results to reset, but like we said, a sensational lap from Justin Ruggier. Like we said, definitely a world of confidence going into this race now. Like we touched on, he hasn't had much practice, but to go out and punch a number like that in final qualifying, he'll be absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, truth be told, I'm actually doing this commentating from Justin's lounge room, because I'm on my way for work, so I'm on my laptop, and he just ran through the place pumping his fist in the air, so he's pretty pumped.
Can't blame him. We've got the final results. So it's Justin Ruggier, 1:18.291 over Madison Down, Josh Muggleton in third, Sean Kelly fourth, Lee Day in fifth, Tony Aldridge in sixth, Dean O'Brien in seventh, Lee Ellis in eighth, Renz Brookman in ninth, and Matthew Nethercoat round out your top 10 for the final qualifying heading into round 1 for season 3, 2013 of the iRacing V8 Supercar Series. We might take this chance to have a quick, short little break before we get into the opening round of the championship. Thanks for your time, Brooksy, and we look forward to having a chat in just a few minutes as we get round 1 underway.